Hello! In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how I make some cute and aesthetic thumbnails, and the best part is it's completely free, which who doesn't love free things? So I don't want to say that this video is super requested, but I feel like I do get a considerable amount of comments saying I like your thumbnails, what apps do you use for your thumbnails, so I decided I'd share my knowledge with you so that you guys can maybe up your thumbnail game or just get some new ideas, inspiration for your thumbnails. Okay, so I use 5 different apps to edit my thumbnails. The first app that I use is VSCO, which is what I use to edit the picture. And then I use PixArt, Magic Erase, Autodesk Sketchbook, and Fonto. Okay, so the first step obviously is to take your photo. And to take my photo, I just turn on my camera and I just take a video and I just sit there posing like. And then I send the video onto my phone and just take screenshots of the pictures. So let us take our photos. Okay, so now my cheeks hurt a little bit from smiling, but I'm going to send the video I just took onto my iPhone so we can get our pictures. Let me screenshot them first. So I just pause the video and I just go through and find a good picture. I don't know, maybe this one looks good. So I'm just gonna do this for a little bit until I find a good picture. I'm just so cute, they are all looking good. Okay, so I screenshotted I think 3 photos, and the recipe that I use for VSCO is pretty much what I use on all of my Instagram pictures. It's called 2000, and I'll put it up on the screen when I start editing. It gives it more of like an orangey tint. So I have that saved in VSCO. Okay, so let me just choose this one to show you guys with. Edit, and then so I just adjust it to be 16 by 9. It should be, but sometimes when you screenshot it, it gets a little. And then I click on the recipe and it looks like this. I hate when you start talking and then realize you're not even screen recording, so. And I just click on the recipe and put it on, and like right now it looks like it needs a little adjusting. So usually what I do is I go to exposure and I put that up a little bit so it's a little brighter. And then I just play around with the filters until I find what looks best for that photo in specific. Okay, so now that I have my photo, the next thing that I do is add some text, and to do that I do one of 2 things. So I will show you the first one, which is just using Fonto. So I go into the app and then I I add the picture that I want. So I will use this one. I just put the size all the way up and move it into the middle. Alright, so now that I have my photo where I want it, I'll add some text. So for this video, how I edit my thumbnail, I'll just put how I edit, and then maybe I'll put this on the top, I don't know, and then aesthetic thumbnails, I'll have that on the bottom. So some of my favorite fonts that I have are Crunchy Regular, which is this one, or Keep on Trucking, and Wanderlust Typewriter, which I only use in lowercase because it looks kind of weird with uppercase, but let's go with this one for now. And then I'll put it into the middle, and usually if it's on the top I curve it and then I tilt it so that it looks straight and just move it down. And on an actual thumbnail I will play around with the size and the text a little more, but now just for like an example for you guys, I'm just making it a little more simple. So once I have the text where I like it, and then I go to style, and usually what I do is I go to shadow and I put the alpha all the way up and the blur all the way down, and I usually just leave it black and it'll look like this. And then for the other text I usually just put a stroke, and then that is how I would want the text, and that is how I like it. So then I will leave it like this and save it to my camera roll for the next step. Okay, so to do the second method that I mentioned, I go into the app Autodesk Sketchbook and I import an image. So I'll just use the same picture, make it the size that I would like, and then, so because I'm using a phone and a finger, when I try to draw it never looks that great. Let me show you. I don't know, it's just not the best looking font. So what I usually do is I go back into Fonto and I'll just put my text. So let's say this was a video for like morning routine like I did right here. So I'll just put like morning routine, and then I will save that. And the reason I do this is so then I can trace it and just having something to trace makes the handwriting look better. So then there's one other thing I do, but I'll show you why. So when I import the picture, it's like this, and then I can make it whatever size I want. But the thing is that I can't have the morning routine showing and this showing at the same time, so I usually don't know where I want the writing. So what I do is I go into the app Magic Eraser, which is also free unless you don't want to see ads. And I'll just click on my photo and just erase the outline and then save that. So then when I go into Autodesk Sketchbook and I import the image, I can see where I want it to go. I will get a color I want. Let's say I want it to be yellow to match my phone. And the brush that I use is always chalk pastel. I just think this gives it a cool chalk sketch look, I don't know. And then I will just start tracing the words like this. And this I usually only use if it's like a shorter title, like morning routine. If I wanted to put how I edit aesthetic thumbnails, I would probably just use Fonto to get text. But if it's just short, like morning routine or like get ready with me, then I do like this look also, as long as it's visible. So I finished tracing, so then all I do is hide this layer. And it looks like that, which I think looks really cute. As you can see, you can't always see it that well. So what I do is I add another tab and like this, and then I'll either just do like the side like this. Sometimes I decide I want to outline the entire word, so I'll just outline all of routine. And then it looks like that, which I think looks cute, and it's also a little more visible. Okay, so I'm a little mad right now because this is the third time I've done it and the screen recording has just stopped recording, like right in the middle. So I looked it up. Hey, can screen records just stop? Is there a time limit? And they say, no, there's no time limit, but if you have a long screen recording, it can just randomly stop recording. Like, what is that all about? Okay, so that is what I do for the text. So as you can see, there is the doodly text, which I think is really cute, and also the text from Fonto, which is also cute depending on what kind of style of thumbnail you want. So the next thing that I do on my thumbnails is I like to outline myself just so it's a little more visible and it kind of separates it from the text, I guess. And I also just think it looks really cute, kind of makes you pop a little bit. So I also use two different apps for this. The first app that I use is Autodesk Sketchbook, again, if I want the doodly outline. So I will show you what that looks like on this photo. So usually I use white, but sometimes, I don't know, like in this photo I have the yellow phone, so maybe I'll use yellow. I know in my night routine video I was wearing a green shirt, so I outlined myself in green. It really just depends. So I will show you what I do. It's really easy. So I just pick a color. Let's say I want to use a light yellow, or say I want to use this color, and I will make the size a little bigger, and then I just zoom in and just start outlining. But that's what it looks like. This is not my best outline, I'm sorry. But I outline it like that, and I think that looks really cute. Kind of makes you pop a little bit. Then sometimes I decide, oh, I don't really want a sketched line. Maybe I want a solid line. I prefer to use the app PixArt. I just import my photo into PixArt, and then I go to the Draw tab, and I make the size about 6. That's probably what I use. Okay, that's better. And then again, I just outline the whole thing. And that is what it looks like if I just outline in the white. I think I would still try to make the pen a little bit thinner, but that's pretty much what I do. And then I just apply and press next and just save to my camera roll. Okay, so those are the steps that I use to do my normal thumbnails just with one picture. But sometimes, like in these thumbnails, I either have a collage or like maybe I have a background and then myself in front, I don't know. But I was going to show you really quick how I do those and just how I set it up, because everything after with like outlining, overlays, all that is the same as before. So as in this summer morning routine thumbnail, I have 3 different photos. So I edit those the same way using Visco, just adjust some filters, and then I go into Fonto. And so I'll bring in the first image that I want to be the biggest, which will be this one, and then I'll just put it, like move it over to where I have what I want showing. So like this, I just want like my head and my arm, And then I'll add the other image, which is, let's say, the food. And this one I adjusted into a square shape, fit it in like that, and I put this one in the front. And I add the last image. So as you can see, my thumbnail process is super complex, you know, so difficult to do. Not really, but, and then I just increase the size of this image, and I just put whichever ones I want in the front like this, and I save that. And as you can see, when you save it, it saves in the perfect shape. Okay, so the last type of thumbnail I do occasionally, but it's like this one, which was my outfit ideas video. So how I do that is I just take like videos like I do to get any other picture of just this one. I did like the outfits I was wearing, and then I go into the app Magic Erase, and I just go into the picture. I'll just erase the background of them and then save them like this, and I just did that for all of the outfits that I wanted. I go into Fonto, and then I add in the pictures that I want. I want this one, I'll make it bigger. So I'll just add in all the pictures that I want and make it so that there's no white screen showing. And then because this was a background that had a lot going on, what I did was I made the alpha a little bit lower, just so that it was a little bit faded, and so my picture in the front would stand out a little more. So then I just added in the picture of myself holding all the clothes. Then I just saved that, and I did the outline and the text, and that is how I did my background, or my thumbnail, with the two different parts in it. And I think that concludes how I edit all my thumbnails. I think I went over the basics and like the more details of each type of thumbnail that I usually make. Usually it's how I do the first one, just one picture of myself, add text, add an outline. I hope you guys found this informative. I know I get some questions sometimes. How do you edit your thumbnails? I like your thumbnails. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and subscribe. I'm posting videos twice a week. So I will see you in my next video. Adios.